I got asked the question, how do you know you found the right one? Or like how do you know it is the one, essentially? Like, this is the right one. You know, you could ask it a bunch of different ways, but how do you really know that this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with? That's kind of the question. And I appreciate you asking that question. This is a question I've actually asked other people many times over years. And I still remember the last person I asked, who I really admire his mindset. He's in his 50s, and he just has a very clear mindset. Um, so anyway, I really appreciated him sharing it. I'm gonna try to be descriptive about what I feel it is. Um, when I say that, what I mean is it kind of sounds like fluffy, airy stuff, and a lot of times you'll hear people say something similar to "when you know," and that's the thing I hear the most. When you know, you know, and so it's better to have something a little bit more descriptive. So when do you actually know something? Well, first let's start off with what you know that you don't like. For example, you don't have to write a list. You don't have to come up with characteristics. This can be anything in life. A lot of times, though, we'll stuff it down further and further inside of us. It could be anything in life, to be honest. It could be something you want. It could be somewhere you want to live. Honestly, it could be maybe that you don't like living where you live, or you don't like the people you're around, and you just come to accept it. I don't think that is the right answer. I think you should go for the things in life that you want. You should search for them. If there's something you really, really, truly want, you should spend the time and energy figuring out how to get that thing. And I feel like a lot of times when we keep finding someone and it's not really right, or we're not really sure about it, I mean, that's probably the answer. Probably hit it already. So by dating them for 4 years or 5 years to think that that's going to be right, I would save your time. Like, I got in the mindset, and this is just me, okay? Like, I'm just kind of giving my opinion here, but I got in the mindset of like strongly going towards the direction that I want. So, I do my best to be kind to others, to support others, to guide them, to help them, and I also want to surround myself with people that are very kind and supportive. And so I go strongly in the direction that I want to go. And if I find people that are not supportive, put me down, or make me feel uncomfortable, I choose not to be in their presence anymore. And you can find that out pretty quickly, if you're dating, how someone makes you feel. And if someone makes you feel really great, then that's something to acknowledge. And you are permitted to feel that. The reason I say that is sometimes we don't allow ourselves to feel good. We don't allow ourselves to feel those really good feelings. And if you're a little bit older, like me, I'm 33 years old. Now I've been dating for a year and a half, but I knew it very quickly. The older you get, maybe the more people you've dated, and you kind of get this mindset is a little bit jaded. You could just say it, like, you go on all these dates and you're like, I don't really know if I'm gonna find someone. And the reason I say the older you get is like, the more dates you accumulate, or the more your mindset starts to tell you, like, I'm not gonna find anyone, or like, how do I really know if someone's out there for me? And man, after 30, I'm like thinking like, yeah, this is probably gonna be the case. I think one day I'll find someone, or one day I'll settle down, right? Settle. And I still will, have a family. I don't want that, but I'm definitely not settling. Like, it's everything I wanted in somebody. And that's I think how I knew so quickly, right? I'm saying I'm going in the direction I want. I think in anywhere in life, you should go the direction you want. And when you are going that direction, you will feel inside of you that something resonates. There's different parts of our brain. Some of it's very logic based and we need to see answers, but some of it's this feeling based. And this feeling part of our brain, we can't put words to it. Our brain is unable to do it, but there's this feeling part of our brain. And so when something feels really good, but it's difficult to explain, the same thing as when you know, well then you should listen to that feeling. And one of mine, for example, I traveled the world, many, many different countries, Latin America, Central America, South America, a little bit of Europe, Asia. I always knew that Asia was where I wanted to go, but I wasn't allowing myself to go there for whatever reasons. Finally, I made it over here, and I made it to Vietnam, and I fell in love with Vietnam as the country itself. And then I wanted to travel to Japan because I always told myself I would love Japan, or like I wanted to go there. I probably would live there, find a wife. And, I did go to Japan, and it was wonderful. I lived there for 3 months, studied Japanese. And I was like, you know what, this place is great. I want to come back here, but I don't want to live here, and I don't think finding a wife here is for me. Vietnam spoke to my soul. Even though I've talked my whole life about coming to Japan, Vietnam, something there just spoke to my soul. And so I knew I wanted to go back. I knew it. Even when I was in the country I've dreamed about going to, Japan, I wanted to go back to Vietnam. And so that feeling was like, when you know, you know. I was like, I want to live in Vietnam. That I knew it. And then I was like, well, what city, right? Like, I could be anywhere in the world. You could honestly be anywhere in the world too. You really could. There might be some things holding you back, or some things you need to, some obstacles in your way, but you could be anywhere in the world. And so I'm like, okay, I love Vietnam. Now what city? And so I started traveling around different cities, and I was like, this speaks even more to my soul than the first city I went to. And so as I started listening and letting that feeling grow, and hearing that feeling inside of me, I started understanding when it speaks up to me. And so when I met this girl, it was screaming, right? I'm not religious. I'm not sure if you're religious, but religious people believe that you can hear a voice, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, we have this feeling that comes inside of us. So it is literally an inner voice. It sounds like it's speaking to you, which is like, do this, or like, this is the place you want to live. And it's like, really? Like, this is the place I want to live? It's like, wait, who said that? Oh, I'm just kidding. But sometimes I sit in a corner and talk to myself for hours. To the camera, obviously to the camera. I'm by myself right now. You don't have a voice at the moment. Maybe leave a comment and then I can read your voice. But this one's just my voice in my head. And to be honest, it's not really a voice in your head, it's a voice in your heart. It's this feeling that you have about something. Listen to it. And there are some ways to improve your way to listen to it. I don't have to get into that in this video. If you have questions on it, I can talk about some of those methods. I hope this was helpful. I hope this answered your question. There is someone out there for you. There definitely is. It takes time, effort, and energy, just like anything else in life that you would really want. So I honestly think it's worth investing that time and energy to find the one that's right for you, and they are out there. All right, I'll see you later. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.